Okay, we have a 3, 2, 1, go. It is 7 o'clock straight up on the East Coast. Dave's Golden Boogie with the Bull Uncensored is live on the Boogie with the Bull YouTube channel tonight. I don't believe we're live on Facebook. Matter of fact, I'm going to take a look over at Facebook right now. And once I do that and I confirm that we're not on Facebook tonight, I will share with you the good news on why we are live on YouTube tonight. So let me just do a quick check here on Facebook to make sure that we are not live on Facebook because worse things have happened. Well, actually, according to this, we're live on the Boogie with the Bull. It says Dave Woolman is live right now. So if you go to my profile, we should be live on my profile. But according to Facebook, we're not live on my profile, but it looks like we are. So grab yourself a front row seat and come join me on Boogie with the Bull. And hopefully Jen Woodruff will pop in momentarily, and Jerry Michaels might pop in momentarily, and hopefully Randy Rhodes will pop in momentarily, and we'll have some fun. Anyway, to make a short story longer, I was scrolling the Facebook news feed about an hour and a half ago, and I saw a post of the Pissed Off Nation video from TikTok, and I went to post it into the Boogie with the Bull Uncensored public group, and I didn't get a warning that I shouldn't post it. I said we got a 2-day restriction for trying to share it. When I went to set up the studio here on Restream, it wouldn't connect to Facebook. But I guess we are live and we are on Facebook. And that link that you have, Randy, should bring you to the Restream studio. It does look like we're live on Facebook because I'm sitting here watching myself on my cell phone live on Facebook. So anyway, you know, I can't share the broadcast on Facebook, but if anybody wants to take the link that I sent them, uh, I can't post links. Oh, I'll try to post it in here, but it might not let me because we're live on Facebook. So give me just a second and we'll have a little bit of fun as I try to type here on my phone. It's not always the easiest thing to do. Restream.io slash. Give me just a minute. Live radio. Like I said, there is nothing like it, especially on Facebook, where this kind of stuff only happens because you're a conservative Republican and you're trying to do a broadcast on Facebook about 14 days before the next presidential election. Let me make sure I type this in and we'll hit this. And okay, let me get into this for a second. Jerry Michaels is here. Give me about a half a second to get Jerry in here. I'm not sure what's going on. It won't let me post links on Facebook because I have a 2-day sharing restriction because I was a bad boy and someone had posted the most recent TikTok video of Pissed Off Nation, which I guess is a pissed off no to try to share on Facebook. It didn't even give me the normal do you want to do this violation. It just said you have a 2-day sharing violation. So, but I'm watching it on my cell phone on Facebook. So we are live on Facebook. So uh, I apologize for posting all over Facebook that we're not going to be live on Facebook tonight. We would only be live on the Boogie Visible YouTube channel. But you know what? Maybe the reality is that we shouldn't do it on Facebook anymore. But other than that, Jerry, how are you tonight?
Doing okay. I'm trying to send Randy the link, I guess.
I did send it to
here.
you. I thought.
Well,
Maybe I didn't.
yeah. Hold on.
Okay.
I got all
Let
kinds
me
of
try to
crap
see.
happening on my page also.
Hang on just a second. Let me get in here and see if I did. I might not have sent it to Randy. Okay, Randy did not get the link. Okay, give me just a moment and I will send Randy the link. So let me do this. Go out of here. Go back here. Go down here. Uh, you got it. So you're here. Jen, I sent the link to. So let me take this, copy this, go to Randy, go here, paste this, post that.
Okay.
Okay,
I don't.
Randy. All right, Randy, you have it from me. It doesn't look like a normal link, but it is in fact the right link, and it does in fact bring you here. Uh, so what you see is in fact the actual real link, and it should bring
Oh
you here,
yeah, look
Randy.
at that. Yeah, look at
Yeah,
that. It's like 20
yeah.
miles long. One of them. Okay. Well,
No,
that's
well,
fine.
no, it's just taking it. Yeah, it's just taking it out of my browser and sending it, which is normally how I send it. But anyway, Randy is here, and Jerry is here, and hopefully Miss Jen will be here momentarily. And we'll just have the same amount of fun that we have every Tuesday night on Boogie the Bull. And just remind you that if you do the right thing and try to share a Conservative Patriot broadcast on Facebook from TikTok, you might get it too. You might not be able to share and this, that, and the other thing. And I don't, you know, this close to the election, it's just, you know, it's just ridiculous. It's just absolutely ridiculous. This is all the more reason why President Trump should be reelected. Uh, Partly because he is the owner of Truth Social and he's just not going to stand around for big tech willy nillying their own rules and regulations to from doing whatever they need to do on social media. So, how are you, Dr. Rhodes?
I am doing okay. I actually in the process of picking up a new client.
Good.
Um, she actually reached out to me through Ancestry itself, and
Wow.
said that she liked the way I looked, the way I sounded, and so woof,
No,
that's just getting hot in
I get
here.
pose or someone will make a comment like, you really look like a wonderful guy. I'd like to meet you. Maybe
Yeah.
someday you'll be the father of my children. No, not
No, no,
not
no, no,
not
no.
not, not quite that far, but
My
you look,
my 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 fathering days are gone forever.
but you look
Uh,
like. But I
those
know, but they say you look like a nice guy, the kind of guy I want to take home to meet my mother, and I'm like thinking, yeah.
yeah
And then the
those
only reason I find out that she says that is because I'm old enough to be her father.
Yeah, those bad boys swam up the creek and they're no longer coming back
Good
down.
evening,
Hi guys, good to
Miss
see you.
Jen. I was
Hi.
wrong, but I'm always wrong. I made it
That's
wrong on
okay.
Facebook
Someone's got to be.
and Boogie with a Bull YouTube channel. Yeah, yeah.
Awesome.
So I'm
Yeah.
going to move me down here, and put him up there, and Jerry's here, and Randy's here, and you're here, and I'm here, and let's just tell people some good stuff, some important stuff, some good stuff that'll make them smile that they need to think about, like electing President Trump and
Oh, well,
banishing Camzilla to the land outside of Oz.
to make you smile, I don't know if this make you smile. It made me smile. And I know it's because of my search thing that search about, but there's a shitload of things happening in the world of aliens and spaceships and UFOs, and some things I fact check with newspapers.com because they're talking about the aircraft carrier Nimitz came in contact with one back in the day. So I thought, well, that should hit the newspapers, and it did. And they definitely did have an experience with an alien spacecraft. They sent up their aircraft, jet fighters, our jet fighters couldn't keep up, couldn't keep the pace with the flying saucer. Eventually, the flying saucer got away, and it was recorded as a phenomenon, and to be recorded later.
Well, I'm actually looking forward. I was
So yeah,
I was on
and supposedly there's
those
a
sausage
alien
UFO
space.
posts.
Supposedly there's an alien city under the water near Baja, California. So I did look into that as well, and sure enough, in the newspapers there were articles about this underwater city in off the coast of California. This is deep enough that you can't see it unless you had some kind of military, craft to get down that far. But they're there, folks, and one of these days they're going to pop up and say howdy. So I like the idea. Also, did you see? That North Korea has been sending troops into Russia. Last I saw was like 12,000 North Korean soldiers, and South Korea is going to send their troops in on behalf of Ukraine. So I'm thinking, isn't South Korea a NATO country? And if they go in there, boots on the ground, wouldn't that make us also have to get in there?
Well, my concern is that if we send one nuke into Korea, would we eliminate North and South Korea, even though South Korea is an ally? Will you do me a favor? If Michael Anthony wants to join the broadcast tonight, will you send him the link? Because I can't send the link out to anybody who wants, because I was a bad boy if you're just joining the broadcast.
Oh, I saw that. You got slapped.
But it was weird. I shared something, and normally when you try to share something that you're not allowed to share, you get a notice. Do you really want to do this? I didn't get that. It just kicked me right to a 2-day restriction for trying to share Pissed Off Nation, which I guess was on Facebook at one time, but is now over on Twitter. On TikTok. So go over to TikTok and watch it over there. If you used to watch it on Facebook, don't share it on Facebook because you don't want to get kicked off this close to the election or get restricted of any kind. Let me tell you the error of my sin. But Michael Anthony, if you want to join the broadcast, you're more than welcome to join the broadcast. Anyone in the live chat, if they want to join, let me know, and we'll have Dr. Rhodes send you the link. And
one of these days, I'm going to ask for and get a raise. I mean, either I'm a professor or a doctor, and so that in itself demands more money.
Well, let's do this. When you got hired, you were
here we go.
Getting paid $0.00 per hour. So for 2024, 2025. I will raise you to 0.01 cents per hour. Okay?
Ooh,
now,
wow.
Jen, just because she's the star of Boogie with the Bull broadcast, she gets $1.
I don't know.
Plus, she bought the most wonderful, cool, awesomest looking black with little shiny things in it.
It was awesome.
That my wife Donna made. And
I got free shipping. I think they're all free shipping, but wow, it is awesome. It's like a headband, so you don't have to wear earmuffs. Yeah, it's great.
If you go to the Family Treasures Facebook, you can see all the awesome, cool crochet crafts that my wife and our daughter-in-law Angela make. And
she's so creative.
Sell at craft shows as well as online. Donna's reopening her Etsy store, so you'll be able to order stuff over there. Prices always include shipping. They're really cool. For the air warmer, I think it's $18, which includes shipping. If you go to the the craft shows that they're at here in Florida. I think it's a little bit less because you don't have to pay for shipping because they don't charge you to hand it to you. They just charge you if we have to ship it to you. But anyway, really cool stuff. Really, really, really cool stuff. We managed to figure it out because it was really weird. I logged on to Restream, went to set up the studio, and it said it couldn't connect to Facebook. I tried, it said it couldn't do it. Yeah, I guess it would keep trying, and I guess it did. It didn't tell me that it actually did. But enough belly aching about what Facebook can saying during the 2024 election cycle. Just learn from me.
I did send Michael the invitation, so keep your eye out for him.
Michael, what?
I did send him the invitation, so keep your eyes out for him.
Okay.
You have a tendency to ignore the green room.
Well, no, right now I'm watching the green room. I'm not on the Restream screen. I'm watching the live chat. I'm watching the studio screen. There's Jerry Michaels is back, and so I'm watching anyone who wants to connect on that screen in the Restream studio, and then to my left I'm watching the live chat. I just won't be able to highlight things on the screen unless I cut back to the live chat screen here for a second. But anyway, we'll get it all figured out. Anyway, Jerry, how are you?
Well, I'm sitting here, and then all of a sudden my computer made a loud noise, and on the screen next to me it says, "Must restart, you're a bad person," or some crap. I did that. Wouldn't recognize my camera that's why I kept coming on. I kept clicking that camera thing under the screen here, and it wouldn't come on. So finally I unplugged the camera and plugged it back in. Now it seems to be working. I don't know. Just in case, I flipped off the camera in case it was somebody else. Because it never went off. The camera never went off.
Yeah.
Because it got two blue lights and they stayed on. I don't know why it didn't see me. I'm fat enough, but whatever. Chuck Cook, how you doing?
Chuck, I do want to apologize. I don't know where the freezing interference is coming from. I don't know if it's coming from AT&T, our cable company. I don't know if it's coming from one of our hosts on the Facebook side. I don't know where it is coming from, but unfortunately, it has been there. And with my guess, it's going to happen until the
it's Facebook.
Right, but it's going to happen until Donald Trump is reelected, at which point I will probably not be on.
He just froze, dude.
The fact that as you stream the data going to Facebook, they slow down. And they can slow down anybody's or not, depending. If it was a Kamala Harris rally, they don't, they never blip out. But, us who are literally nobody, I don't know why they're messing with us, but they are, and here we are.
They're messing with me just because they got nobody better to mess with. Michael Anthony's not doing his own broadcast tonight, so he's over here, so they're going to come over here and mess with me. And all my friends are here tonight, and at this point, I really don't care anymore because if it gets to be much of a problem much longer, if it continues after the November election, Facebook, you may only get Boogie with the Bull podcasts because I just don't want to.
So Michael is with us now. Hey, Michael.
Hey.
How are you, Michael?
Wow, I'm good. Are we doing ghost stories tonight? What's on the agenda? I heard about UFOs.
Well,
that's always good.
I had said to Randy that I don't remember if it was I don't remember much lately, but I don't remember if it was this morning or if it was this morning when I was scrolling through Facebook or last night when I was scrolling through Facebook that he's got a gazillion articles related to on his profile, and I have to go back and read them. And
Well, he's always asked me, what can I do? I want to do this. And it's like, well, I gave him some advice in a way, but it's bigger than what you see, because that's normally only half the story or a third of the story, or not the story. And it takes a lot of years to compile the properalities of the information. But hey, I told Randy if he wants to do something sometime, I opened the door for him. I mean, I can only do that for somebody if they want to do it. I'm actually up in the mountains right now. All cameras are aimed into the skies. They have sprayed about 2 hours before sunset. They started to white line the skies, and it's starting to expand and contract. But I am already seeing right now on one of my cameras through the infrared. I have something, and it doesn't look to be a satellite. And I'm trying to verify where the satellites are, because Randy, so if you're going to do this, get the apps for the satellite. And that will help also. That way you know what you're looking at, because it's not always what you think it is.
Right.
What our military does is blindside you. They try to make everything that they do look alike. And the ones that come in that don't look alike like that are the ones you should have the interest in. So that will help you if you're actually going to go outside and do footwork, or just sit behind information. I don't know which one you're going to want to do, but yeah, I'm up here right now. I got up here this afternoon. There was leaves everywhere. Grass needed cut, but it wasn't terrible. But it's nice to be up here. I'm sitting in a complete darkness right now myself, and who knows what'll come on. I don't know.
Wow.
I'm still here.
Yeah, maybe you'll get abducted, and then you can. Dave, you're on mute. I'm sure you said something very funny, but you're on.
I did.
I know. I saw
said
his lips moving.
I said, I wonder if Jerry and Jen and Randy will realize that I'm on mute. And then I started laughing.
Oh,
okay, we did.
But,
well, this is going well. You know what, Randy, I got to be truthful. If you do it, I never know when Michael's on or where. I've watched your show. It was a while ago, but I would watch that. That kind of stuff kind of interests me. I don't even know why. It just does. And this is coming from a guy. When I tell you I never look up, I really don't. And
that's why.
But it's like it's interesting.
Yeah, I told Michael I really truly wanted to do something absolutely totally different from what I'm used to doing, and I have a very strong belief in the UFOs, aliens. But I also told Michael that what I want to do, just like with my ancestry, I got like 200 books about the military, about the Civil War, and so forth. So I have it for research purposes, plus the magazines and all that bullshit. So I want to gather material that I can read, have in my hands, have that for research. Obviously, the online shit. I am a strong believer that the newspapers.com is a site where truth can be found. And when I see different things about UFOs and flying saucers, I obviously look at that stuff, but then I go to newspapers, and there it is. I was like, along with pictures and shit. So it's like when they said about the flying saucers that flew over the White House. Boom! There's like 50 different newspaper articles about the flying saucers over the White House. So yeah, it's real. It's true. They're there. I also believe that like Michael has said, that our military, our government has some type of arrangement with the aliens, because these damn military aircraft that we're building are looking more and more like freaking spaceships. They're getting more rounded curves to them. They're not no longer having to flying in corners and so shit. They get all kinds of stuff. They have that damn plane, whatever it is, up in orbit right now. referring to as a spaceship. So they got that thing up there in orbit doing different things. And that's probably the first of many to come. So I believe that we have conversations with aliens. They're helping us. Well, when are they going to actually show themselves to the entire public of our planet? I don't know. Maybe they're waiting for Trump to get in the office. Who knows? But the one thing that you have to question yourself, and I'll shut up, is that every president gets read into everything that's going on with the government. And everyone knows, all the presidents are told about the UFOs and spaceship and aliens. That's why when someone asks them about it, they can't talk about it. So if they can't talk about it, then it has to be real.
It kind of proves it. They did that on Gutfield.
Well,
You're
the
right.
ones
That
over,
was that cat. Go ahead. Sorry.
the ones over the White House, they killed them all. They played Hank Williams Jr. and all their heads exploded. That's what happened.
That's funny.
Kind of reminds me of the scene in the movie Independence Day when the mothership flew over the White House and imploded it from the inside out. I was with a bunch of Republicans the day we saw that movie. We all got up and clapped and thought Bill Clinton deserved the Academy Award because he was president that day, I think.
Wow. Which is the president that we are supposed to know had conversations with aliens? Was that Nixon or was that LBJ?
I didn't hear the question.
Trump.
Which president do we know made deals with aliens or talked to aliens? There's like writings about it. I don't recall if it was Nixon or LBJ. I feel like it was LBJ.
Truman and Eisenhower.
Okay.
Holloman Air Force Base. They came in, 3 ships landed. 3 seconds of the video that was originally 6 seconds of the video basically were shown in a movie. So, and then you have the story of Serpo too. Don't forget that. That was the trade-off of aliens coming here to start teaching us technologies and delivered us something called a yellow book. Like a holographic book. The weird part about this book is it's immense, it's enormous. When you open it up, it like comes to life. It comes out at you like basically a television would, and you're like in a holographic scenario with it. The problem with it is it acknowledges the frequency of the mind who's reading it, and if you don't keep going and you close the book, it doesn't open back up to that page. You have to start completely over again from the beginning. So the one man, the only man, whoever that man may be in the future, that can sit there to get through the whole scenario of what these people gave us was what actually started from the beginning of time. And so it's very difficult. We know we have it. And that's what Project Looking Glass was developed for. So to look into the future, so we could jump the future and create jump rooms. And that's where some of the technology came from, what we know of jump rooms as well. But yeah, it started with Truman. It went to Eisenhower. Eisenhower actually had no choice. He was kind of set up. And they told him, look, we'll either show you what some of our technology can do, and if you don't want to do what we're asking, we're going to do it anyway. And he says, well, if I give you some restrictions, will you still give us technology? That is the way I understand it went on. And they made an agreement, and he said, you can't harm them, and you must return all abductions. So, that's where it comes from. And if you want to know more about it, look on my page. Laura Eisenhower, the great-great-granddaughter, is a friend of mine. She has a book out. It talks exactly about this. And so this is coming directly from, his private memoirs.
Randy Rhodes had to step out. He'll be back momentarily. So if the question is which man as president will be able to talk to the aliens, that's an indication from the aliens that Kamala Harris is not going to win, right? unless there's things about Kamala Harris we don't know, we may not want to discuss on this broadcast.
Well,
anyway, but there is that story that the Kamala is really Kamal, but that's a story for another broadcast, I guess.
yeah, the purple and gold syndrome thing. Yeah, I know. Yeah, her name basically comes from a deeper meaning of wicked and dark goddesses, and if that's what you're referring to, so she's one of how many in the world with that name?
I just know that if you look at the pictures of Kamala and pictures of Kamal, she looks more like Kamal than big Michelle Obama looks like Big Mike.
Well, we know that the information, no matter how you look at all this stupidity, that there's facts behind it. Joan Rivers told the world that what Mike was, and shortly after, during a botched surgical procedure, she died on the table. And this happens to people that talk. That's all I'm going to say. It never ends, and the ones that talk, the ones that actually use their voice, are always attacked. It doesn't matter if it's about politics or ufology. But when you go into the ufology, Podesta wanted Clinton to actually tell the truth. There's also pictures out there with Hillary, with Rothschild, holding a UFO book that we believe he gave to her that had some great importance in it. And they were walking on one of his backyard vineyards near Cern, Switzerland, which we call the Devil's Mansion. So, I mean, there's so much information. And that's why I tell Randy, and the kindest way I can, get ready to put 50 years of your life into this to know how to actually speak on it, because it really does take that kind of length of time, but it also can take 10, 15 years. It just depends upon how far you will do your due diligence to educate yourself. But he's right that we do have things. There's some things under the water, but we also had programs and we were building structures under the water too, military installations. They were basically bubble units. And maybe the technology got different and got better. They even made movies about what we were doing. They had documentaries about it. So this is nothing new to me. I'm not excited by it in the least bit. But when it comes to aquatic and sea life, they are playing with that as well.
Wow.
And right now, guys, hold up. I gotta focus my camera. I have two light structures coming in, and they're not making any sounds, and they're moving very slow. They're side by side. They're heading east of East Brady, Armstrong County, Pennsylvania. In case anybody's really listening out there, and you're in this neighborhood, look up in the sky. There's some up there right now. There's two of them. Now, here's the thing. When I look at these, I don't know in the distance from where they are, even through my lens, if they're theirs or if they're ours. I don't know.
Oh, wow.
It's like stars are moving. What you have to understand, the best way for me to explain it right now, they look like the stars are moving. And we know stars don't move, even though everything rotates around Earth. But we can't see that with the naked eye. These things are actually in motion, and you can visibly detect them with the naked eye. And I'm trying to get the cameras to adjust better so I can try to get some good pictures tonight.
What color are they? Red?
No. They don't always come in color like orb. These are more like a blue. They have a commonality to what a star would look like, and then when they hit a certain level in the atmosphere, then there's a friction that seems to occur, and then you can see an orange, a yellow, a green sometimes, a blue. That's the best I can tell you. But they're up too high. They're up where Randy was talking about, within the Aurora project, and the upper stratosphere.
Write this crap down. I got to start writing this crap down. Hold on. I need things to do at 2 o'clock. Every time I'm on with Michael, I end up using up 16 pages of frickin' paper. I swear to God.
Well,
But
like I told you, get yourself ready for the fetal position.
Yeah, yeah.
No, but
yeah,
I wish you
I
guys.
actually laughed out loud about that.
I really wish you guys could just like you were like 3 blocks away, and you could come up and look at what I'm looking at. Because honestly, I'm over some type of triangle scenario, and I have used dowsing rods. I get high energy from the ground, from within the ground. But here's the thing: I don't always believe that the frequency comes from ley lines from underneath. I actually feel it's energy impulses that come from up and below. Because you can have reverse lightning. Lightning could come from the ground as well as it could come from the sky. A lot of people don't know that. So I don't know when I use them always where is this energy? Am I standing within it? Because the hairs on my arms don't go up. But there's something mysterious about that part, and they know where they are, and I know I'm a hot spot for that.
Hmm.
I'm
Well,
going to
I've
shut up for a
seen
little
that.
bit.
No, that's okay,
I've
Jen. What do you have to say to Michael?
hold on. I've
Nothing.
seen them. Just 1 second. I've seen pictures of the lightning on the cattle. You know what I mean? I don't know what that is, like static electricity, but it jumps between cows.
Yeah,
Is that okay?
I got a triangle right now. I got a triangle
All right.
right now. I swear to God, I got like a boner. Excuse me, Jen. Hey, look, you don't
Wait,
understand.
hey, how
I
about me?
study this. I
You're
study
fine.
this shit. I can't help it.
That's exciting.
Ah!
It is.
Oh
It,
my
I'm
it
gosh.
sorry for again. Go ahead,
No,
please.
you're
I'm
fine.
sorry.
That's no, that's funny. No, I haven't seen anything lately, but what I have heard, and this is weird because we never heard this in Idaho. We don't have that many trees, especially in our part of Idaho. Like just 10 miles away, it's high desert. But I've been hearing this owl sound every night. It's freaking me out. It's like it starts around 2 o'clock and it doesn't stop. I'm like, oh, stop this, Chuck Cook. Anyhow, I didn't have anything to drink either. I don't know what's up with that. He says I'm blushing. But no, it's about this horned owl. I'm like, what the heck? It's creepy. I'm like, is this just like a Halloween thing or maybe it is aliens? I don't know. Isn't there something about the owl like watching us or something? Have you
well,
heard of that, Michael?
I have heard of that. It's ravens, crows, and owls that they can pass between the dimensions. That's always been something that's been said. But also the Bigfoot can mimic them. And
Oh wow.
I don't know what you have there. And like I said, this is exactly why this is so hard. And everybody in the communities fight with each other. Same with politics. It's no different. It's no different. It's hard to tell. I had to go put on these really thick glasses to try to get better transparency to help my own vision. And I just did
I
that.
see.
But it's so exciting when you see something and you know it's actually a triangle. You can visibly see it. Now, here's the thing: because I'm here doesn't mean you can't see it there.
Wow.
We're not that far apart when you're looking up. Think about that.
hmm We still have daylight, so I can't see anything right now.
Oh,
But
okay.
cloudy
Uh,
skies. It's very cloudy because of the fire. It's
mm,
so dirty. The air is very dirty, and that's exactly how people get these weird cancers. It goes to your bladder because your bladder like filters everything, and that's what Jesse had. But his cancer, what they think it was from Roundup, from breathing Roundup,
How
because he
that,
didn't wear.
bad
Pardon?
stuff.
yeah.
Yeah.
Bad, bad stuff. Bad stuff.
SVR40, SV40. It was something created a long, long time ago. Jerry and I talked about this information. He followed up on it. This was created, uh, and and they decided to basically change humanity. When they gave these vaccinations out, became carriers of a virus known as cancer. because it was only called a virus back in the day. There was no people in the hospital or dying from cancer before 1915. It happened after that. And then when they did it in 1950s, they injected 300 million people with it, and then it went haywire, became carriers. And just like the thing we deal with when we talk about this, the boosters and all the other protocols, experiments they were giving to people. And same scenario. And Roundup is basically the dope of the truth of what it is. So just so you know, do some research. Jerry has something he can send to you. I have a good friend. He's a neurologist. He's a doctor. He busted them on this with all the information, and he's always with RFK. He's always with them. He was asked by RFK to start speaking about exposing all this.
Yeah, I sent it to her, Jen. If you look up in the in your messages, you'll find the link.
Oh, super!
I sent
Thank
it
you
to
very
Dave.
much.
I sent it to Dave
cool.
too. Very, very
cool.
interesting. Guy.
Wow.
This is a brain surgeon who said that he would do surgery outdoors if he was allowed because it's better for you. I got to tell you, he sounded like he meant it. So
outside of a
out
sterile
like
environment?
Yes, I've
yeah,
tried one.
he said it's the best thing in the world. Yep.
Really?
Sunlight,
I mean,
natural light, red light therapy. Computers are basically killing. Electronic devices are
Blue light,
basically killing us. Yeah, with
the blue light. Blue light's terrible. Get the apps. Change your TVs and phones. You can get them. Go to red light. It protects you.
So did they intentionally make computers with
Yes.
blue lights, knowing that they were bad for us? And a guy like me would fry my brain and burn out my eyes doing 18 hours a day in front of these assorted idiot boxes. And the worst in humanity, carrying 5G on my waist 24 hours a day.
Right. Oh, another thing about the phones. Remember, like back in the day when they first came out, we could replace the battery or take extra batteries with you in case the phone died. You didn't have a charger, you could just change the battery.
Yeah.
Well, now they've made it so you cannot even take the battery out. It's like listening, tracking, and watching you all of the time. It's crazy. I have so many pictures, and it just takes pictures when it wants to. Looking up my nose, I'm like, what the heck? And I know when the kids were little, they would do stupid stuff like that on accident, but it just takes pictures whenever it wants. It's like we're constantly being watched and monitored. It terrifies me, and I'm so interested when Randy comes back about this. The Book of Enoch. He got this Book of Enoch, and it talks about the Watchers in it. And who exactly are they, Michael? Are they the Nephilim, the Watchers?
Well, there were two brothers, and I'll say yes in a way. They're the fallen. So you have the good and you have the evil. You have, let's call it the source, the smarter brother, and then you had the one that was not quite as smart, but had a really good heart. And they thought about how they created humanity from adapting us from other species of life, mixing it with their DNA, and creating us as a human species. And they got into a big argument. And the one brother wanted to take us all out. When the other brother said no, we gave them. So you have the good, and you have like God, and you have Satan. This is where all that biblical nonsense comes from. So, if that helps you there, that's the best way I can put it to you, to be honest with you. And hey, listen, that's not coming from me and my analogy. This is coming from the best in the world that Jordan Maxwell was involved with. And I knew Jordan somewhat through writing, not through personal contact, but through writing. And two occasional phone calls that I had a long, long time ago that was giving me this information. And he sat with all the best in the world because of who he was and because of symbolisms and religions and Luciferian and all this. So you have the good and you have the bad. So you have the positive light, you have the dark light, which brings you to what do you have? Two people with two indifferences, and the implosion came, and one brother was a little bit more victorious than the other brother. And they came from a planet. They came here because they needed to harvest gold and to protect their atmosphere because we're being burned by oxygen. Their oxygen here on a dust. They created these people on a planet called the Ajiji. So you have the Ajijis that came here. They create these men, they create and bring their own people to work in these mines to mine for the gold, aluminum, barium. Check this out, how all this works. Same metals we're using in our sky right now. We're using it. But they don't tell you all that. But yeah, and this is a hard subject, simply because you're basically calling God one of these brothers and the other one, Satan. But the true names, Enlil and Inky.
I have a question.
Aren't those?
I
I'm sorry. It sounds like. Go ahead.
Go ahead, Jen. Sorry.
No, it's stupid. What you have to say is better. Go ahead.
Okay. I doubt that'll ever happen in this lifetime, but that's fine. What do you call? Why do you think, Michael, that the government does not want us to know? Now, I've heard many different explanations, but I was just curious what yours was. Huh?
Yeah, from what I can put together, we are truly working with them, and I'm looking at everything, watching the finger points where we came from the last 100 years, how technology became. And look, just think, there's 30 to 40 years. From the snow. This is why I tell people when they say those are coming and shutting down nuclear bases. No, it's not. It ain't coming yet. They're coming out of Antarctica, cahoots, in partnerships, in bloodline, with their family, with the Germans, the Nazis, the breakaway civilization. They went to a place called Neuschwaben because the Germans were going all over the world trying to get religious artifacts. They wanted to get to the bottom of who were these people that were here before us. Who were the creators? Who were they? They knew that they existed. They wanted the arcs. They wanted everything. That's why the depictions are even in the movies of Raiders of the Lost Ark. I mean, think about it. This is the same continuity. It's not a make-up story. And they went there. They did this. What proves that they did this is the Admiral Burke story. And I probably said this to all you guys. They come out of the water. We had planes. We had everything imaginable on a destroyer sitting out in the water. And when we approached, and they kind of gave us a warning, but Burke says, keep going. Their UFO came from up under the water, and it basically used a directional energy weapon and sliced the damn destroyer in half. Go read about it. It's there. One of the most significant historical documented cases that had occurred. And now, think about this. When John Kerry went to the Antarctic, Obama went to the Antarctic, Buzz Aldrin went, and then they had to bring it back because he said what he saw was so terrifying and horrific. Whoever's up there, whatever they find, or whoever they're meeting with, he had a heart attack. Now imagine bringing a guy back that had a heart attack, how much money it would take in that. Not only were these people there, the Patriarch of Russia was there. And the Vatican had to go into Vault 52 to send down special paperwork because they were there turning over the Ark of Gabriel back to the people, basically, who it belonged to, that were once here. But check out where everybody was during the election and why weren't present. And that is one of the reasons everyone says Trump was allowed to become president. I don't know what the deal was. I wasn't there. But look up Buzz Aldrin's story. Look up where Obama was. Look where Kerry was. What was the big excitement there? That all of our political heads were MIA for the 2016 election.
Wow.
Catholic Church is evil. I don't care what anybody says, and I'm Catholic. I don't know about. Well, let's just say I'm not a practicing one, or even a hobbyist. But the Vatican is, to me, where evil begins. I think. I don't know. I don't trust anything that comes out of there.
Yeah.
Wow.
No, seriously, really quiet, but at least I have visual. No, go ahead, Dave. Go ahead.
It's the Vatican on us. I believe it's the Vatican causing the interference on us because the Jewish boy is trying to tell the world what's really going to happen, and that and they don't I'm sure. But
half of what Michael is saying, he sounds like an alien that I saw in a movie from the 1950s. I don't. It's weird. I don't know if it's it maybe interference. I don't know, but that's what it sounds like. And there is a lot of weird shit going on Facebook here as of late. I'm gonna tell you that right now.
It boggles my mind, realistically, and I'll speak just as Boogie with a Bull for a minute. It boggles my mind why Facebook would spend so much time with intentional interference simply by throttling me down and trying to keep, maybe if I'm lucky, 200, 300 people watching me 2 days a week live. And not just leave me alone to do what I do, because I'm not really interfering anybody, or I'm not really doing anything wrong. I mean, they've got people who have 27 billion times the live views that I do, that they should be going after, and not waste any time worrying about the four of us and 13 people watching, because I can't share tonight. We'd have maybe 150, 200 people watching by now, this late into a broadcast. And, it's just mind-boggling.
Right. Well, Michael, tell me about these shapeshifters. They're like, what, half reptilian and half people? And they have all these pictures of King Charles, and his neck in some of the pictures has like snake skin. It's crazy. And they just put on Facebook. So I don't know if they're trying to get us used to this or say it's coming. But they were all over Facebook, were these statues from, I think it's in Europe. It's probably in England, of these big, like, it looks like reptilian, like an eel or something, but it has a head of a human. And I'm like, why are they inundating us with this stuff? Usually they stuff it down your throat and you're like, it's weird. I don't want to see it, but they're doing it on purpose. Why? Are we supposed to get used to this?
Pretty much. Yeah, that's for on one side, but it also is for manipulation and control. So you don't get lost in that. But remember with plastic surgery, transhumanism, because the ability to change people, they can put boobs in a man, boobs can enhance your butt, your lips, and then you can enhance your nails, you can lashes, you can get tummy tucks. That's where a lot of this shit comes from. But yes, it's to get us used to it, and that's why you're seeing such absurdity out there. Because through the liberal arts program, where all the money grants went to fund these colleges, to get these people complacent and to be able to take the proper orders. That's why everything that happened in the United States, it was they built a military of our own children against us to go out and destroy the country. So everything's to make you get used to a certain adjective of action. So you might be talking about the Dracos. I don't know.
Aliens.
Over even that we think we're doing it elsewhere as well. They come in, they manipulate, they mind control, they make the people rich that need to be rich, and then they put them into the agenda. But in our case here, there is the bloodline with castle. Queen Elizabeth was not an Aphrodite. She was a halfer. She was a half royalty. Her brother died in Australia. He became the king that nobody even knows he was alive, but he did, and he died. They asked him because people went to him to do the research on it. Says, "Would you come in right?" And he says, "No, I live happily with my smaller family. If they're my family, I guess I'm blessed if they ever live long enough to even have contact with me."
Oh, we lost Michael. Hopefully he will come back. I apologize for that, but I'm sure Facebook is throttling the entire broadcast right now. Can't post messages, can't do this, can't do that. I apologize. Normally all of that freezing and sound effects, scrambling stuff, Restream will cut all that stuff out and compress the broadcast when it posts as a podcast. So I apologize to all of you that are watching, and I thank those of you that do watch for putting up with it. And I'm sticking with Facebook through at least through the election. If President Trump is in fact back in the White House, I think I'll remain here. If not, we'll move it to someplace else just because it's just, I've been on Facebook for 15 and a half years. This is the only Facebook account I've ever had. They've never taken it away from me. They restrict me for breathing without permission, logging off without permission. Uh, but it really is becoming a pain in the neck, and you got to do what you got to do, and the three of us are committed to doing what we do here on Facebook, and I'm glad when they're here on the broadcast with me, and when Jerry has us on the American Rebellion, and one way or another, we're going to get the information out to you, and the only thing we all hope that you will do is that you will go to the polls and vote on November 4th. And we got to do it. Okay, no more putting it off, saying I can't. I got to go get my hair cut or do this and do that. The future of the country is the state right now. And if you don't like how it is right now, well, wait until November 5th. And if Kamala Harris is the president, she's going to flush the toilet. So make sure you can swim.
Wow, you got to hear about this latest SJW. That stands for Social Justice Warrior. Okay, this is a 14-year-old boy who is in the choir program at the school that my youngest daughter goes to. Now, she's a junior, so he's a sophomore, and it's called treble choir. Okay, so she's in the advanced women's choir, and he's just in the basic treble choir, but not the men's treble choir. He's in the women's treble choir. And so when they had their concert, of course, they sing beautiful. And then there's a time when the girls' treble choir would come with the boys' treble choir, not the advanced ones. That's where my Juliana is. But anyways, there was this kid. And I'm like, why isn't he with the advanced boys over there? He's like got this mohawk. He's this punk guy. And he's standing in a bunch of girls because when he joined, now this is a new choir teacher. The one they have now is so woke. I mean, he actually, I swear he's like resurrected. He looks like Amadeus. He's got this crazy gray hair. And I noticed when we clap, the audience claps because the kids are amazing. Like they could graduate this high school and go right to Broadway. They're just that good. But there's this kid there. And I'm like, why is he on the wrong side? Well, he identifies as a soprano. And I'm like, he's a boy. Well, this is so frustrating because it's like, it's just weird. He's not identifying as a girl, he's identifying as a soprano. And it's really making us parents mad because the girls that are in that choir, they're darn good. They wouldn't make it there if they weren't. And they're ready to quit and give up their dreams if this boy, little man child, he's 14, if he goes on to join the women's advanced choir. And then there's this like high up one called Forza, and that's where my Julie is. And all the girls are like, we're going to quit. If he comes here, they're like, a soprano? He was in puberty. This is so stupid. It happens to everyone got boys. We all saw Peter Brady. I'm kidding. On the Brady's when his voice changed. What is it? Last a month or a week? It's so stupid. But so this guy identifies as a soprano.
The funny thing about it is it kind of goes forever because I'm 62 years old.
Okay, you're right.
I'm 62 years old, and if I put two boxes up on the screen, I could interview Mickey Mouse, and you wouldn't know.
No,
stop. But the part of it is, it's the she, he's, him, hers, whatever you want to call them, plugging themselves in wherever a woman would be. But there were rumors for many, many, many years that the Vienna Boys Choir used to, for lack of putting it better, castrate boys.
Dear God, you're right.
So that they could keep singing the high parts and stay in the choir forever. Was it right? Absolutely not. Absolutely not. But you take a guy who can sing a triple high soprano part and put him on The Voice or on America's Got Talent, and he's going to win every single time. Because Simon Cowell's sitting there going, this guy's going to win, and as soon as he wins, I'm going to sign him to a contract, and I'm going to make $1 gazillion off of these guys. And it's wrong. It's 100% wrong, too. But,
I identify as a sparkle pony. I just wanted everybody to know.
A sparkle pony.
Is this kid actually a soprano, or is he like a bass, or and just saying he's a soprano? What's the story with that?
No, he does have a higher pitched voice, but he also has a male tone. And the girls are like, you don't belong here. You have a male tone. You can tell it throws everything off, and that's why they're all willing to quit. And I'm thankful that it's not a physical sport, that it's it's an art. They're singing. No one's going to get hurt.
Jen,
but
I keep saying it, Jen. That is what it is going to take. And it's sad because obviously you don't want your daughter to quit. The whole reason she's in school.
The other side of it
really,
is
if you think
like
about
I said,
it,
the Bee Gees
she could stay at home and learn. But in the end, that's what it's going to take.
Who knows what? Right. Who knows what they were? But the Bee Gees made $1 bazillion being able to sing the soprano part in 3-part harmony until Andy Kim joined the group when one of them died. Yep.
Dave, Michael says he's in the green room.
Okay, let me go back to that screen. There he is. Yep. Okay. All right, he's back. I'm sorry about that.
Yeah, but it's sad because you could teach her at home like you always have. So she went to the public school for this and driver's ed, I guess. But unfortunately, girls standing up and saying we're not doing this anymore is what it's going to take. It's just that simple, and it's unfortunate because this is where everything you're going to be high school is where it starts, you know, and hopefully
Right.
if that does happen, these girls, whoever they may be, don't get ruined by it because sometimes even when you do the right thing, you pay a price, and it's not always a good one. But they, it's easy for me to say because I sing and people run out of the room, but it is going to take that. It is going to take that. Women and girls, and I saw middle schoolers. They were in a shot put competition, and the other team had a guy on it, and they all walked into their circle, turned around, and walked back out. They all got kicked out of off the shot put team, and then there was a lawsuit. So now they're back on the shot put team because it's bullshit. But they said we're not doing this. We're not doing this. And these are middle school girls, and that didn't happen that long ago. It's like a couple months ago. So more and more you start to see this garbage.
And the parents who are afraid of being labeled domestic terrorists still need to stand up and go to the school boards. I still see videos from YouTube all the time where a father will be standing next. This last one is our father was standing next to his 8-year-old daughter, and he's looking at the school board, and he asks his daughter, "Do you want to change in a locker room in front of a boy?" And she said no. And he said, "Why?" And she said, "Because it's inappropriate." And the father looked at the school board and said, "This is one of your students, and she's telling you this is wrong." And then he looked at him and he said, "And if I find out that this is happening, I'm likely to go down there and." Fortunately, he turned around and walked out and didn't say anything because he probably would have been arrested right there on the spot. But that's where it is. It's time. It's time for parents. I mean, my mother was lucky; she stood more than 5 feet tall for most of her life, and but my mother back when we were in grade school was active in the PTA, and if she didn't like something, she went and talked to the teacher,
Mm-hmm.
principal or whoever she
Yeah, my
had to
parents
talk
were the
to.
same way. But then we didn't have
And
these type of problems when we were going to school, Dave, either. I mean, back then, this was
no,
unheard of.
right,
I can remember back in the day where you think back now, there were probably some gay kids in elementary school the way they acted, all right? But nobody talked about that. There was, nothing was like that. Um, I had a teacher that would tell in was it middle school? Yeah, he would tell some of the most inappropriate jokes, and they were basically gay jokes to sixth, seventh, and eighth graders. And you think he's being funny because you're in sixth, seventh, or eighth grade, and but it's not funny. Um, but the thing is that we have it now, and the adults are doing the least adult thing you could possibly imagine, and the children are the ones that are making sense. And Dave is right. Mothers are fine, but in this case, if you have a daughter and she is being subjected to this, it is time. And don't go down to school and kill the kid. Go to the school board meeting and start slapping
no,
people there, and it will require you to be arrested and,
yeah,
and charged. But at some
yeah,
point, we have to show these people we're not your silly little games. I swear to God, The people I see at these school board meetings that are actually on the board, they look exactly like the kids that got beat up every day in high school, and now they're even. I swear to God, that's what they look like. And coming from a guy, me, who did it, well, at least in middle school, got beat up almost every day, eighth grade in middle school, in some form or fashion. And there's no way in hell I would agree with any of this shit. This is garbage.
Yeah.
It is garbage, complete and total. And not to mention, like the kid that Jen is talking about, is taking a girl's place when he is not a girl. Okay. And, what is that? Amendment 10 or whatever the hell they call that? The
Article
rule
9
for
or whatever.
Yeah. Yeah. In the end, I remember when that was going on. You remember when that was going on. It was a big thing in the courts, and it was on in our house, the radio every single day. And they finally got what they wanted, equal, monies and that sort of thing compared to how much money they bring in. And equal equipment, facilities, chances, you name it. And now it's all being taken away because the LGBT idiots took these men in and told them they were women and reinforced what they were these and reinforced these freaking morons' opinions, and here we are. We got to watch a girl win the NCAA swimming championship and the trophy being given to a guy. Okay, it's that simple, and it's wrong. Okay, it is wrong because when you get to college and you win that, that's money.
Yep.
Okay.
Yep.
You make money off of that in later years. It goes on your resume. All kinds of stuff. In high school, and not to mention, what about the girl in that college that or whatever had that shot of being on the team but lost out to him? It's bullshit.
Yeah. Until that gets corrected and Riley Gaines gets the respect and admiration that she earned and is treated as the champion that she is, it's like you just said, her life is going to suck because she's always going to be.
She ain't that kind of girl.
Remember,
her life is pretty good.
It's not. I mean, no, she
all
is.
that, but it's wrong. And can you imagine? At least she's a grown woman. She's a grown woman.
Yeah.
What happens if Jen's daughter gets kicked off because another one decides he's a tenor bass or some crapper? And I don't know nothing about this, but
yeah.
It was so frustrating. There's a boys' choir. They call them men and women, and I think that's like great. They act like they're so they respect them like they're adults, which is wonderful. But it's still so frustrating. And the girls are like, he does not belong here. At least in Riley Gaines' situation, Leah Thompson, the beast that won, was he had his own category, men's swimming, and he was a failed athlete in his category. That's why he started taking the estrogen. Then he goes over to the women's and he wins. Well, his body's been making testosterone since birth.
Right.
So no matter how much estrogen you add, you're still a man because you were born a male. Now, this situation is weird. And this is why I hate this feeling when you're like, I know this is wrong. What do we do? But it's crazy. It's like when you hear about Pete Buttigieg breastfeeding, people are like, can they really do that? Because I know you can add breasts, but you're not going to produce milk. And I'm like, or could you if you had enough estrogen? And I'm like, this is stupid. Why are we thinking these things? Just do what you do and be proud of it. So I can't stand that this guy's in there. And it's not, it's because the girls hate it there is a choir for
Right,
him.
right.
It's not like there
But,
isn't one. Okay, go ahead. Sorry.
but no, I was just going to say with Pete Buttigieg, if he wants to be able to breastfeed children
My
and he
God.
has the money to go to a doctor and
Oh
get the
God.
surgery done and be able to
Randy came back
breastfeed,
at the
no, stand by, Randy, and be able to
Yeah, I'm gonna
breastfeed
throw up in a minute.
and be able to breastfeed his children, then it's kind of in my head. It's one of those things I hear Jerry say a lot. If that's what you want to do, go ahead and do it, but leave me the f alone. I don't need.
Don't
I don't need
tell
to.
us.
I don't need to open up my laptop or my phone and go on Facebook and read that Pete Buttigieg can now breastfeed his children.
TMI.
Fantastic, Pete. You. If that was your goal in life to one day be able to breastfeed your children, you got it. Now enjoy it. Same thing.
Go. Yeah.
Same thing with Caitlyn Jenner. What ticks me off about Caitlyn Jenner is, as far as I'm concerned, Bruce Jenner will go down being the ultimate fraud from the time he was 8 years old until the day she became
Uh,
Caitlyn Jenner, because he said that he knew when he was 8 years old one day he was going to have to do this. But he didn't do it or say anything to his father because he'd lose his athletic career. He didn't, he was like the number one athlete. He was on the Wheaties box. He had this endorsement. He had that endorsement. He was living a charmed life. It's like the king of athletes. But great, if you did that and you kept doing it, but you knew that you had to do something else. Because I'll go down to saying basically Bruce Jenner made sure before he passed on and became Caitlyn, he left Caitlyn with enough money, never have to work a day in her life if she couldn't get a job.
wow.
Mark my
So to
words,
me,
we are raising a whole generation or more of psychotic children, many of which will become serial killers or some such thing.
yep.
Many of their parents are going to be killed by them,
Mhm.
and many of them are going to commit suicide at some point in their life because
Yeah,
of what their parents did to them and allowed them to do. And some of these kids are like 10 years old. Come on.
yeah,
All right.
yeah. I mean, they say your brain doesn't even mature to the point where you can make those decisions until 18, 21, and maybe even later. Later, I don't know.
I'm sorry.
Go
The
ahead.
the the decision of these children being boy and girl is not coming from the child. It is coming from the adult in the family, the parent,
Right.
primarily the mother, because the mother wanted a son and she popped out a girl. And she was so disappointed. But due thanks to modern technology and science and a little bit of do re mi, I can make my girl into a boy, and I'm going to be a happy parent. Doesn't matter what she's doing to that child as far as screwing up that child's mind. Okay, the point is that she now has a girl. She can dress up in frilly dresses and curl their hair and teach them how to use makeup and tampons and bullshit like that. Um, and with modern technology, the right amount of money, a doctor can lop off that boyish instrument that he has between his legs, slice him open, a little bit of stitching here, a little bit of stitching there, and now he has a uh, what do you call it, a vagina. Now the child can never have kids because that's something you just can't make happen. At least right now you can't. But too, and Michael has talked about this a little bit on his shows. The possibility here too is that we have alien influence, and perhaps they are directing us to do certain things to change our people to be more alien-like and be acceptable to them. I find that to be believable. From what we understand, these aliens they want the eggs from the women, they want the sperm from the guys. They want to kidnap the women to use them for birthing machines and stuff like that. Um, yeah, I mean, I I just almost throw up in my mouth when I
Yeah.
hear and see shit like that. It's just absolutely ridiculous. Let the child grow up, and let the child become an adult at the age of 18, and then let that child decide whether he or she wants to be a boy or a girl. And then at that point, then it's legal. The child is an adult, and everyone's happy.
It is, but even then, it comes back to like what Jerry said. Even at 18, these kids make the decision, and a few years later, it's like you see the YouTube videos with the kids saying, "This was the worst decision I ever made, but I'm stuck with it now."
Yeah,
Because
the thing is, Dave, is that when all the adulation of the bravery that they have shown goes away, and they are sitting alone, and there's nobody else patting them on the back anymore and telling them how great they are and all the rest of this, they suddenly realize what they did to themselves.
Mhm.
And it eats at them slowly but surely, and eats at them and eats at them. And that's why there are so many suicides with these people. And
Yeah.
I personally have kind of a hard time. I mean, I can understand a kid, but you get to be around 18, 19 years old. Yeah, your brain ain't fully formed. I get that. But you know what? You know a lot more than you did when you were 10. And I imagine one of the things that somebody tells you is this is irreversible. It's not you have something lopped off, it's done.
Yeah,
Okay. That's it. You're not getting it back ever. All right.
right.
And this is how you were born and everything. I have yet to see one of these people happy. And I firmly believe what the Constitution said with the pursuit of happiness. But these people are never happy. And it
Right.
shows when they have somebody canceled because they don't agree with what they've done or something else, whatever it is. And they're all like this. I met I on YouTube, there was one guy became a woman. And I was listening to what he had to say. And I will tell you this, there are many transgenders, and this guy had the surgery and everything. Many who disagree vehemently
Mhm.
with this thing that's happening with kids. I have personally, not well, but known a girl who swore up and down she was gay. She's now married to a man with a child. Um, and I guess Dave will be right back. But
I think his wife wanted
yeah,
him.
probably. Thing is that it is despicable what they're doing. You go to a school counselor and suddenly you're gay, or you're not a boy, you're a girl, or something, and let's not tell the parents and all that, and getting away with it, I might add, and laws being enacted in this country where the schools don't have to tell the parents, and nobody's
Yeah.
fighting that to the Supreme Court, which is garbage.
Well,
Um,
do you think the
you
school
would
is
think
really
one
going
of
to
these,
pay for that, or do the parents get the bill?
The parents get the bill.
yeah. There was a case, I believe, in Canada where the father told the judge that he doesn't want to be a girl, and the wife keeps forcing it on him. And the judge sided with the wife and cut the father's visitation to zero, wouldn't allow the father around the child.
Oh, that's bad.
So, you know, you got judges for this crap too, and it is crap. Make no mistake, it is crap. I mean, I don't know about anybody here. I don't remember if I did it or not, but you know, little kids tend to run around in their mother's shoes, to thinking they're either funny or whatever the little kid thinks. I don't know. I don't really remember. They try different things. This is how they learn. Dad just bows his head and shakes it, and it's like, oh God, help us. Okay, and mom says you should let him do it. He's just experiencing life, and all this other garbage that gets said, and then you never do it again. Doesn't make you a girl. It makes you curious about stuff, and that's what kids are. They're curious, sometimes to their own detriment, but nevertheless. It's like the kid when you touch the hot stove. He just has to touch the hot stove. He burns the hell out of himself. That's how they learn.
That's good. They won't do it again.
Yeah.
I actually heard a comedian. He was talking about kids and said, "Yeah, I'm the kind of father that believes that the child should learn from experience." The other day, my son was looking at the stove, and the stove was turned on. And he is like, got his finger out there. He said, "Yeah, go ahead, touch it, see what happens." And he touched it, and he found out it was hot.
Yeah. Yeah, why not? Hey, I remember that. That's Stacy Keach was in that show. He was hilarious. But I mean, Jen, you raised 5 kids, and you went through all the stupidity of them being very.
She and her husband raised 5 kids.
She and her husband. Jesse is just as responsible as Jen is.
Right.
Well, okay. I'm
the
sorry.
good ones I raised. The other, no, I'm kidding. They're all good.
But
Just kidding.
You had to, and you still go through crap with them, but you hope that all the crap you go through, when they are out on their own, they're able to make their own decisions reasonably well, and at least ask for help if they need it and that kind of thing, But I got to tell you, I'm telling you, we are raising a generation of psychopaths, because there is going to be a reckoning with all this, and it's not going to go well for a lot of people.
Nope.
I'm just waiting for God to say, enough's enough. You mess around with my creations. You're doing this. You're doing that. I've had it up to here now. Now it's my turn to punish you guys the way you need to be punished. Okay, let's take care of that. We'll have that planet. How about you guys? You understand now? You gonna believe me? Yeah. You gonna follow my rules? Good.
That's why there's aliens. It's our replacements. No, I'm kidding.
No, I'm serious. I'm serious.
I know.
I truly believe that those aliens are real, and that they're I won't say that. Some folks think that they're angels. I don't think that. I think angels are a totally different creation of God. But I do believe that these aliens are real. I do believe they're hanging around. I don't know what they're. That's just like God. What is God waiting for before He punishes them? What are the aliens waiting for? They come here and eat us. Where's the trigger for both of these things to take place?
Well, what if it is? I've said before that a belief that I've heard that I kind of foster somewhere along the line is that Earth, in our particular galaxy of planets, solar system, whatever, Earth was the garbage dump, the trash dump, where all the planets couldn't, or the prison planet for all of the other planets. They just dumped us here. Maybe 2024 is when they decided they were going to come back and see if any of us have straightened ourselves out, or the future generations have straightened themselves out and are worthy of coming back. Sort of like the movie Close Encounters of the Third Kind, when the mothership comes back and everybody gets off, who's been gone for like 50 years, but they haven't aged at all. And they're back here, or like Manifest, that TV show. The plane went missing for like 30 years and came back.
Let me ask you this.
Go ahead.
For all you believers and everything, as far as God goes, what happens if God was an alien?
I gotta believe that there's something up with it, because there have been so many things that have happened in I'm 62, so add 32 years, say 100 years of the Globan family. There are so many things that have happened here on Earth that, as far as I'm concerned, I don't know why Christ Jesus or God didn't come down and do something about it. Nazi Germany, he killed 6 million of God's creation. I don't care if they were Jewish or whatever. He killed 6 million of them. Jim Jones in Guyana took these people, got all their wealth signed over to them, went to the other side of the world and told them that they were going to live forever and blah, 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 blah. Gave you a cup of Kool-Aid and you're now probably living in hell because you drank it. I want to believe that God is just, and he's figured out a way that he was going to bring you into this world, and a way when he was done with you being here, he was going to take you out of this world. But I just don't believe or don't understand why, if all that crap has happened, like Randy was saying, why hasn't God just hit that Staples button and gone off for a cup of coffee? Because I'm sure my father... Go ahead, Jen.
I think he looks a lot like us, because if you believe the Bible, it says we were created in his image. And
God help us.
I
think he's got 2 eyes, a nose, and a mouth.
He's got great sense of humor.
I got kicked out of a vacation.
I'm good looking though, Randy. How do you explain that? I mean, if you look like me, you'd be fine. Probably got a lot of women.
And your image, yeah. Okay.
I got kicked out of the vacation.
The only thing you got going for you, Bobby, is that bald spot. I like your bald spot.
Right. Well, I think we were in junior high and just finished junior high, and we're going to be high school freshmen. And my best friend at the time, Carter Lipscomb, begged me to go to Episcopalian Vacation Bible School one time. And I said, I can't do it. And he said, why? And I said, because I'm Jewish. I'm going to say something and I'm going to get kicked out of there. So the pastor, the father, I don't remember what they called them, flips over a chalkboard as we sat down, and it said, God created man, fill in the blank. So I raised my hand, and the words that come out of my mouth were, God created man in his own image, but God must have one pretty fucked up image of himself. And I got kicked out.
I was like, did they kick you out?
You said that in church?
I got kicked out. And I ran into the father or the pastor a few years later, and he recognized me, and he said, are you the guy that came with Carter Lipscomb? And I said, yes. And he said, you understand why you got kicked out and were told not to come back? And I said, probably because I said, God must have one fucked up image of himself. And he said, exactly. And he said, the only reason I asked you not to return was you used the F word in one of our holy classrooms. He said, if you were the rabbi and someone said that in one of your classrooms, would you have gotten upset? I said, no, I probably wouldn't have, because I want people to tell me exactly what they were thinking. But yes, I understood you can't say that. But I do believe that God has one messed up image of himself if we are created in his own image. Other than if you watch the old God or the old God movies with John Denver and George Burns, I believe that God looks exactly like George Burns on one day and Morgan Freeman on the other day.
And that he's not an alien.
And
now, this is interesting. Okay, this is crazy
No, but
because I know
we
some
were
great.
created by an alien race, as Michael was alluding to before. Okay. Um, you know, where is the evidence of God himself? Um, you know, I mean, he did a lot of crap in the Bible that, and took care of a lot of bad things that were happening all at one time, and with the flood and all that kind of thing. You know, and he turned people into salt, and he did this and spoke to Moses on Mount Sinai
But
with the Ten Commandments. 15 if you believe the movie,
yeah,
Oh, that's
the Mel Brooks
funny.
movie, and he dropped one, so there were only 10. But
That was funny.
you know,
one of
in the end, he was able to do glorious things. When what do we have now? I mean, I believe, truthfully, we're more like a fishbowl that we're being studied, and we're given free will to do it, pretty much, and we are reverting to form, where the elites put their boot heel on the lesser than's neck. And whether we like to know it or believe it, we are the lesser thans. And when does this stop? When do people become selfless and give not only to each other in themselves, but to as the whole? Okay, as far as the country, we'll just take America for instance, but it's the whole world. It's the whole world. There have been countries on this planet fighting for thousands of years in the Middle East. They don't like anyone. They don't like each other. And the only thing they have in common is how much they hate us.
Mm.
but
And these
is
people, all they do is kill and murder and blood and you name it. And nothing is being done to them. And if I listen to you guys, he created them too.
okay, but isn't there at some point going to become, for lack of putting it better, the chosen one of them children who one day is going to look up at the Muslim hierarchy and say, "Hey, Dad. Hey, Granddad. Hey, Great Granddad. Hey, Great 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 Granddad," and acknowledge every one of the fathers in the room, and go, "Why are we doing this?" And the first 15 of them are going to say, "He told me to do it," and point to the next one, and point to the next one, and point to the next one, until they get to Jerosophicus the first, who's going to go, "I don't know why we're doing it. We've just been doing it. I'm just using it as an example, Jared. No disrespect. But who goes, "I don't know why we've been doing it. We've just been doing it for so long." Unfortunately, I'm going to be dead by the time it happens. It gets to that point, because I'd want to sit down with Jerosophicus the first and go, "What did Abraham Glovinsky do to you that pissed you off so bad you wanted to kill all the Glovinskys?" Or hopeful that
Well,
we're up in heaven together and Abraham can
I don't
say
know.
what he did. But
I don't know. All I know is I have a hard time believing in an entity that I don't see, I can't really feel, and I'm not putting anybody down who believes. That's fine. Get whatever you got to do. I don't that don't bother me in the least. I let everybody do what they want. But um, you know, personally have a hard time with that because I read the Bible just like most people did that are a Christian or whatever. Dave has probably read some Torah or whatever at some point. You read stuff, and God was very instrumental in the beginning of man, Adam and Eve. He created them supposedly, okay, and then punished them when Eve talked the guy into eating an apple. For some reason, God didn't like apples. I don't blame him, really. I don't care for apples that much either, but maybe he was made in my image. I don't know. But thing is that he was very active for a long time, and then all of a sudden he seems like he's inactive. Now, there are people that believe in all kinds of things that God has done for them, and that's fine. I think that if anything I've ever gotten in my life, I've had to work my ass off for, and nobody really helped too much as far as my adult life. But I just don't see the intervention. If God made us in his own image, that he should intervene every now and again against evil, against what many people would call the devil and his minions, such as people like Hitler or terrorists or even, tyrannous governments, that kind of thing. So I don't know. I'll hear from somebody else.
Here's a quick response to what you're just saying. I've heard before, and I think it's apropos for right now. You said you have trouble believing in someone that you can't see. And I remember the one guy, I forget what the commentary guy was, but he's one of the guys who go out to college campuses. And he said, well, you can feel wind blowing on your face, right? He said, yeah. And you can see the wind blowing the leaves on the trees, right? Yeah. So why can't you believe in the wind? Why can't you believe there's a God if you can't see him? But here you can't see the wind, but you believe there's wind. And it made the college kid, scratch his head and think about it. But, I was just sitting here thinking, I'm probably gonna go to hell for this comment, but it's like you just said, Jerry, that he was so very active. Yeah, I'll meet you down there. He was so very active, doing all the things you're talking about, the flood and so forth. And now all of a sudden, all these, 1,000 or so years, he has not been active. I wonder, I'm going to go to hell for this. I wonder if the reason why he's no longer active, that we can see it. Okay, then there are people who, now I've heard it too. There are people who say that you can hear trumpets blowing in the wind, and I actually saw the video, and you can actually hear trumpets blowing. Or you can, there are other things that say, God's there, like the cloud changes into his face and so forth. Anyways, I wonder if the reason why he has not been as active is because that now we have these alien creatures showing up on a very regular basis. So I wonder when in history, if we can track it backwards, did the aliens start becoming more noticeable and God not? So is God using the aliens to he's taking a vacation and he's using the aliens to step in and do their thing?
That's what I was going to ask you. Do you think God is above the aliens and he just said, hey, aliens, I need a break. It's been 1,000 years since my last vacation. You guys got to take over for 1,000 years or for a period of time? Or maybe has God been shaking his head since the Great Flood when he told Bill Cosby to build the Ark, which is one of Noah's best albums. I know I just switched that around, but is God shaking his head going, maybe the flood was wrong. Maybe I could have done this a different way.
Right.
Also, one last thing before I spin it back to the next person is there's always been people who have said God, G-O-D, dog, D-O-G. Maybe there's some connection there.
Yeah. There's members in my family. I don't know their names anymore, and that, which is terrible. I got to track them down. But I believe they live in Maryland. I remember as a child, and I'm talking chow chow. My mom, my dad, brother, and I would get in the car and we drive. And I was pretty sure it's down in Maryland, but uh, their religious belief was that God was an alien, and that the rapture was going to be spaceships coming down and taking us back uh, to the planet where they come from. And they had all these really neat paintings of this upcoming events in history, right? And which he gave to my mom. My mom managed to hide it from my dad because he was very angry about this. But I'm not sure who wound up with the pictures. But he gave me some books to read on the way home. Okay, and my dad saw I was reading a book, and he said, "What are you reading there, Randy?" And I said, Uncle so and so gave me a couple of books here to read. He said, "Really? Can I see the books?" So I gave him the books to read. He looked at the cover and out the window they went. It was it was about their belief and how they believe in in their God and so forth. I think there's Seventh Day Adventists, whatever 6 day Adventists, 7 days. I have to look into I don't get much time to work on my own family tree, but I gotta look into that. Plus, my cousin reached out to me. My niece reached out to me, and she wants to know if we have any women who were in the women's army during World War II. So I have to look into that too. But um, when it comes to aliens and God, at least we can say this: we can see the aliens. Okay, we can't see God or Jesus or the Holy Ghost. Okay, for whatever reason, they want to remain invisible to us that they created. But the alien creatures, we can see them. We see their spaceships. We see them land. We see what they do to people and to cattle and so forth. But I don't know.
What if the aliens held us at bay or whatever for so long by making us believe that there was a God until it became time for, like you said, for them to come down and take us back to wherever they're going to take us to and do whatever it is they're going to do to us. I just hope they're. I
They have
just
good
hope.
anesthesia.
I just hope they're. I just hope they're good to me. It's like I said. My biggest fear is that the Democrats knock on my door and take me away and say, we're going to take care of you while whatever happens in the U.S. is going to happen. And, they start giving me a different pill every day than the thing that I take. And the next thing I know, there's going to be 3 Democrats. But Jen, go ahead and talk.
Yeah, just tell the aliens use the number 2 needle. You're not number 9 needle.
No, I'm more that they're going to start giving me different pills and feed me something different. And the 3 people that are on the screen with me will be 3 Democrats, and I'll just think that's what.
Anyways, what do you want? So let's change subjects. Okay, let's just get off the aliens and UFOs. What else are to talk about?
Yep.
What's going on down south? Are they cleaning up? Are they getting more help? What's going on down there?
We're still here in Levy County. I don't think they've started really picking stuff up yet, but most of it is out on the side of the road. I see where I live, a lot of it is still from Helene. It's not from Milton, obviously, but because Milton was nothing here. But there's still piles of stuff. I think all the electricity's back on and has been for a little while. But yeah, they got down south. I haven't really heard much about it. Usually you hear a lot of stuff about it, but Tampa got hit pretty hard and surrounding towns and so forth.
That's what we heard.
Isn't there another hurricane on its way?
Well, I don't know what stage. I don't know if it's a hurricane yet, a storm yet, but yeah.
What,
Let
Jerry?
me look real quick. I'll look real quick here on my screen. My National Hurricane Center. Yeah, we got one. It's called Oscar. It's
Yeah.
post-tropical cyclone or remnants, so it's really not nothing. And it looks like it would hit the East Coast as a storm on like down around Miami or something. But it's right now a post-tropical cyclone.
Yeah.
We're getting a little late in the season. Not to mention, it's actually been cold here in the morning. You know, last week 47 degrees. Lately it's been around 60, 59, 60 in the morning. The cold weather doesn't do it any good, so
Walked out today, and
which is good because I've had enough, and I got a lot of shit I got to cut up and stack, and like firewood and stuff, and just in case. And I don't know why I'm collecting firewood, but I am for some reason, and that's what I'm going to continue to do, I guess.
we walked out.
Don't you have a wood fireplace?
Not in a trailer, no, Randy. It's not a good idea. God doesn't like trailers.
No.
And,
No.
but I do have a fire pit. I do have a fire pit. We just don't. My wife can't really. She really can't sit out. We usually put it underneath the carport, and it's we really can't. I just figured having some firewood dried can't hurt nothing, just in case. And right now I'm in the midst.
Wait. You said you live in a trailer, right? And then and you said I asked if you have a fireplace or something like that for the wood, and you said that trailers don't like fireplaces, right? Is that what you said?
Well, God doesn't like fireplaces because He comes for them first in the trailers.
Right.
With hurricanes and natural disasters, He just takes them out quick. But that's how I'm saying down here.
Because back in the day, my wife and I, we lived in a double wide trailer, and it had a fireplace in it. Now we didn't use it. It was there for make pretty and to hang things on for Christmas, but it had a fireplace.
Some of them did, yes. My next door neighbor has actually a wood burning stove that heats his whole house. He doesn't have a trailer, but it's like an old blockhouse, basically. And that damn thing works great. I'd love to have one of them because my electric bill in the winter would be next to nothing. Just need some wood, which is fine. And we got plenty of that.
Chuck Cook said it best. Jerry needs a fireplace to send smoke signals to the aliens.
There you go.
I just wanted to.
Chuck Cook's a good guy. I'm going to try to get him on Mondays and Wednesdays and try to get Randy back as much as we can over the next Mondays.
Yeah, didn't you just do a video, Randy, that said you were on a sabbatical of some sort like 2 days ago?
I know, but Dave's been sending me these damn books almost like on a daily basis.
I need him.
And yeah, there you go.
I do a Monday or a Wednesday. Or
I finally, after 3 years, got Dave to stop sending me the 87 paragraph texts.
Please.
And I'm very happy. Now, many times he blows by the 3 text limit, I got to admit. But he's not it's short and sweet. That's what I like, Dave. And good job, by the way.
The problem is Randy doesn't. All right, Jerry, always a pleasure.
Bye, Jerry. Thanks for coming. I want.
Jen, come on tomorrow night if you can. Come on tomorrow night if you can. Jen.
Okay.
Everybody who wants to come on is welcome. Obviously, guys. See you tomorrow night, 7 p.m. Eastern.
Hi, Michelle. Yeah. Okay. But the problem is, Randy comes on, then he's gone for a couple of weeks, and then all of the ladies that used to.
Hey, watching. My wife is watching.
Used to like to watch Randy. Ask me, where's Randy? And it's like,
You didn't hear that,
I can't afford to pay him. But no.
Yeah, that's funny. You're funny.
But,
well, I felt bad for you, and I thought, well, what the hell?
I was like,
as long as you don't mind me working while I'm talking, that's fine.
You can work while you're talking. Just don't talk about buses and Trump rallies.
No, no. I told my wife about that. No, I don't know if you saw me slapping my desk, but I just picked up. I told David I just picked up a new client, and I'm working on hers, and her last name is Reagan, and I happen to have a previous client whose last name was Reagan. So I brought her tree back to life, and I started looking back and forth, and damn, they're related, and they are very closely related.
They're related to the big Reagan.
They're like first, no, they're like first and second cousins, and it's like holy. But okay, and she knows she's watching, and we had a discussion earlier. She is a woman of her skin is darker than mine. Okay, I'll put it that way. Okay, and she said I can use the word black. Okay, she's a black woman. Okay, so I'm thinking to myself, how in the hell is my Reagan for my other client, her ninth great grandfather, and be my other client's eighth great grandfather. Okay, so they're related. And the only thing I can think of is the S word. So I very delicately talked to her about that, and she said no. She said she wants to know. She said she was told that they were slaves back in the day, and she wants to know. So that is the only way I can think they're related. So I got to dig deep, and I got to tread carefully on that one.
Could it be where we ran into what we thought was two Glowinski families, where they both had the same names, but then it turned out to be what I think is it was just different people recording different things at different times for the same family.
See, let me cut in. Is the first Reagan client white, Caucasian?
Yes.
Okay, thank you.
Yes, so
it was master then.
Yeah, and that's and everything is matching up as far as what you're saying about your Glavinsky family having
right.
Right.
We thought it was too different, but it turns out to be the same.
Yeah, these two are point on point. They are definitely related. So I got to find out. And like I said, tread very delicately. But she said she wants to know. She was told that they had slaves, and I want to find out. So So now I need two new clients. It was two, then it became three, possibly because the one lady whose mother, on her dying deathbed, told her daughter to do this. Her husband is very close. So right now, she told me to put her on pause because she has to obviously concentrate on her husband, and I totally understand that. I'm not going to demand money from a woman whose husband's dying.
Yeah, they say a lot also that when one passes, when they've been together that long, when one passes, shortly thereafter the other one passes, and it's just
6
because
months.
they can't. They my grandmother was my grandfather's world for the longest time before my grandmother ended up in a nursing home with her Alzheimer's. But
actually, I think in this case,
breathes taking care of her, and then all of a sudden she was gone. And
I think in this case not, because she's a very strong woman. She has a couple horses that she owns, and horses live a very long life. I mean, I'm talking like 30 plus years.
Yeah.
So she has that, to the only way I from my experience, where one spouse dies straight after the other ones, but the one spouse has nothing to keep their hands busy. They become dormant and all that. And that's how I think my wife's my mother came down with Alzheimer's and dementia. She had nothing to keep her mind busy.
Let's say we're gonna have to do the broadcast with the husbands and wives and whatever. Where Jen has Jesse. I think one night we should broadcast that
Hey,
Jesse.
you know what? That would be cool.
Jesse, Donna, and Claudette do the broadcast.
That'd
That
be
would be
cool.
fun.
And Michelle, if we can get a camera and a mic into.
Yes.
Couples night. Have a couples night.
I always thought, but let the couple that doesn't
That
do
would
the
be fun.
broadcast do the broadcast. I always thought that would be so hilarious. Although I might
would
not
be
want to
cool.
watch because there are things that Donna might say that I just might not want to be here.
That'd be cool. Have your wives or your husbands on with you, and just have a good old conversation. That'd be cool.
I thought it would be a lot.
We could do a remake of honeymooners. Not honeymooners. What was that? When he asked the spouses questions about their spouse.
Dating game.
Dating game.
Yeah. I'll make up. I have questions. I do. We did games all the time for
Donna and I
the youth
won
group.
tickets one night when we lived in Connecticut to Eric Estrada was hosting a game show night, and it was the newlywed game, and
the newlywed game,
and it turned out that like half the audience was bogus, and the other half were the people who were actually invited to come in and play. And the last question really was crazy, and it was name someone you'd want to see undressed that your wife would figure you might want to see undressed. And I didn't want to see that person undressed, but it was the only one I could think of that my wife, that Donna, would say. And it was the last question. It was like the 250-point bonus question. So I flip up this card and it has the name on it, and Donna looks and says, "Yep." And we won something like $2,000 worth of slot play at Foxwoods. But
let's do that as a Christmas party. That would be so fun.
I've also wanted to do one night a dating game where you have like one person, you have like a girl who's got a question like four guys or three guys, and then flip it around and do a guy with three girls, and it'd have to be regional so that like the guy or the girl asking the questions that wins the date. They got to live all in the same area to try to get them dinner and dinner somewhere.
That would be fun.
Yep.
Okay, I gotta get going, guys.
Randy's got to go.
It's been fun. I have to get up early tomorrow for that Dave Globin show.
Well, keep in touch with me, because if they're still going to make loud noise tomorrow, finishing the bathroom here at the first bathroom here, then there might not be one, and I will be on.
What do you do? What are you guys doing to the bathroom?
They're
updating.
Both bathrooms have to be seriously updated.
Okay, so you're taking the tree out.
Yes.
And you're putting a commode in.
We're taking the out in and replacing the house.
Nice.
I really wanted to say last night when Daryl was on and he was talking to Jerry and he had said something about outhouses. I wanted to ask him. I always heard it was true back when people had outhouses that their parents would give them the Sears catalog for Christmas, the toy catalog, and send them out with it. And you ripped out the pages of the toys that you wanted, and you gave that page to your parents. And the rest of the page was what yourself.
Toilet paper.
Toilet paper.
That's the way it was. Yes.
My mother used to give my brother and I the Sears catalog and like a marker, and it was like mark all the things that you wanted, and then like a month before it was marked down the things that you really wanted, because we got, usually we got clothes, socks, underwear, and clothes that we needed, and one or two good things were like, so I could put in a better new computer, new TV. It was kind of a little rougher in my world because my Hanukkah came about a month before my birthday in January. But anyway, horse lives equate 3 to 1. Most horses only live to about 23 to 26 years old, David Fowler says.
Okay.
Okay, we can talk about that at some point. But Randy, thank you for coming. Jen, thank you for coming. When do you want to say something? First, Randy said he needs 27 new customers, and no.
Yeah. No, I would like to go back to doing our show, Randy. I have got to catch up. Everyone's got everything done but me.
And
So,
me.
you
Yeah.
too? I don't feel so bad because you're always talking to me. No, I'm kidding. So
I
I set up
I can't share anybody until Saturday. It sucks.
a Wimkin. I'm trying to get my OPPs, the one-page plans up,
I
and then the
write.
plans. I wrote a new one. Oh, it's so good, and I had a nurse help me. It's a mental health tracker,
Oh, I gotta
and
watch that one.
you'll love it. You can have the OPP, which is a special op. It's the one-page plan, just to kind of get you focused on everything except social media and doing something constructive. So it's all good. But no, Randy, I didn't mean to shut you out. I was just like, I cannot do this right now. So we have to talk because I
Yep.
am in love with the Reagan quotes. And
I
we could
hope.
do a show. We could do a show
I
every
hope. I hope you
other.
guys work
I
it
hope.
out.
I
I
hope.
hope you guys. No, I hope you guys work it out.
We're not fighting.
No,
I'm
no, no, no,
busy.
no, no, no. I just mean I hope you guys work it out so that you can keep doing it. Because like Randy was talking to Jerry, I wrote Randy probably double the pages that I normally write about how much I really was looking forward to being able to share it. I went over my share list and there were like out of 200 groups that I'm in, there were 150 groups that I could put it into, and I feel really good about putting it into because you guys would get some views, and I was
Oh, it's
all
good.
excited about doing it. I had a doctor's appointment today, so I knew I would miss today's. I was all excited about doing it. I come home, I do this, I see this thing from TikTok that I really wanted to share. The next thing I know, I can't. I got a 2-day sharing restriction. I log on to Restream. I thought I wasn't going to be on Facebook tonight.
Yeah.
And you are. That was
And
great.
we are, and I feel great about it, but I can't share. So I mean, we had like
That's
15
okay.
people watching tonight, and I really appreciate it. Chuck Cook shared, and David Cook shared, and Jane O'Malley might share, and William Grant might share. Everybody who's watching may share, and I feel great that you guys will do that. But all of you that shared Boogie with the Bull tonight, Tuesdays and Thursdays on the Randall Rhodes Facebook profile. Straight Talk with Jen and Randy. And sure, but go ahead, I jumped in and I shouldn't have.
At noon. No, I hope
At
that does
noon,
come back.
Eastern.
Yeah, I finally got some stuff done. But it was great to be on your show. Thank you.
Good. I'm glad that you were here. Thursday night, you're welcome back. Next Tuesday, the 29th, Peter Seraphin used to do
Oh, I
a
can't
series.
wait.
He used to do a
Yes.
series called Liberty Lighthouse here on Facebook. And like everybody else, all the good ones left and went to YouTube and was sharing it all over the internet. He is off at a training tonight to be a constable on election night, so he couldn't be here tonight. So we will all get a chance to pick his brain on what is involved in being a constable in whatever state he is at, as well as his brain on a whole bunch of other stuff. So please
Very
come and
good.
please come and be a part of that. Randy, anything final? Jen, anything final?
No, just that. Like I said, I need like 2 more people to close out my schedule so I can maintain my expenses. My expenses for what I do are very high, and this is the way it is. So if you want to do the job right, you have to have the tools to do it. That's why I was saying about the aliens and stuff, and I'm hoping that Michael's understanding. He wants to jump on board, like, boom, let's get this done.
Good.
And that's not the way I work. I need to get things in. I need to read them, research them, and so that way when I get, because he wants to go on with me, and I don't want to look stupid to his vast intelligence, right? I don't want to sit there being that kid with a dunce hat on his head in the corner because I don't understand what the professor's saying.
No, save that for me.
Oh, stop! You guys are funny.
So, anyways, I have got to get going.
All right, you want to do it, or you want me to do it?
I'll do it. See ya.
Bye.
Randy will do it.
Okay.
All right, Jen. You want to pass on Cookie Crumbs?
Actually,
.com. CROOKIS.
right.
.com.
Actually, we have another one. There's another one going, and I'm trying to post this, promote this. It's walkinginhealth.org. Walkinginhealth.org. And there's a lot of planners on there. Walkinginhealth.org.
Walkinginhealth.com.
Okay. Org.
Walkinginhealth.org. That's an organization.
Yes.
Okay.
Okay, right. And that's where the
say hi to Jessie, and next time you're on, I want an update on the manual Crown Vic.
Oh yeah, it's great. Tell Donna I said hi again. We're waving to each other. She's awesome. All right, bye.
All right, Jen. Thank you. Let's see. You were doing Jen. All right. Let's see. We want to thank Jerry Michaels for coming here from the American Rebellion Monday, Wednesday, Friday, and Saturday, 7 p.m. Eastern, on the American Rebellion blogger page here on Facebook, over on Winkin on the American Rebellion page. I believe at some point maybe coming to Rumble. Don't quote me. Thank Randy Rhodes for being here from All Roads Lead to Home Genealogy Services here on Facebook. He is back. Go to the Randall Rhodes Facebook profile and then message him. Terrible things happen with the Randy Rhodes pages here on Facebook, and they should not happen, and they probably happen only because this is an election year and it's coming together, and they're doing and our broadcast. And I'm really glad to be involved with Jen and Randy and Michael and Jerry and other people who are standing up, the people who come and watch whenever we do our broadcast. I apologize that I did not believe that we would be on Facebook, because when I set up Restream and started to get ready for tonight's broadcast, it said you need to reconnect to Facebook, and then when I tried to do it, it wouldn't let me do it, and we're here. So thank you to the wonderful folks at Restream who figured out a way to get it connected. Anybody who took the broadcast and shared it from Dave Logan's profile to anywhere you could on Facebook, thank you very much. If you want to share it off of Facebook, please go to the Boogie with the Bull YouTube channel, like and subscribe to the channel, and share it off of Facebook. Please don't take it from Facebook and share it off of Facebook. I just, let them get the credit and the clicks and whatever, sharing it on Facebook. If you want to take it off of somewhere and share it off of Facebook, please go to the Boogie with the Bull YouTube channel, and that will make me very happy. Chuck Cook, I will get a hold of you in a few minutes and run an idea by you and anyone else. Basically, it's Chuck. I just want to see if you're available for Monday and Wednesday next week with Randy and I, when Randy available, a part of that family. And if you're available on Tuesdays and Thursdays as well, then you're more than welcome to come and join us and be regular between now and November 4th. Jane O'Malley, thank you for watching. Chuck Cook, always a pleasure. David Fowler, a pleasure when you watch, as well as William Grant was in here. I know I saw Jane O'Malley. William Grant is back, so I thank everybody who puts up with the freezing and the strange audio sounds like Michael Anthony had tonight. It's going to get better, folks. I promise it's going to get better. Okay? It's going to get better. Donald Trump is going to come back, and a lot of things are going to be straightened out. Hopefully, hopefully the rules on the internet will get followed, and just will go where we get. And it's sad I have to say that. I'm 62 years old. I just want to come on and have some people to come in and watch and tell you things that you need to know and let you make decisions and not worry about the fact that Meta or Facebook doesn't want me to tell you something. So make sure you're registered to vote, and please go out and vote. If you are disabled or handicapped in any way like me and you can't get to a poll or you're not sure you're going to be able to get to the poll and go vote, please request an absentee ballot and do your best to vote. If you're here in Florida, I understand from a lot of people that the sample ballot is very confusing. I know it is confusing with question 4 or proposition 4, whatever they're calling it, but it's number 4, which is vote yes. The whole thing behind it is to make sure that parents are not removed from the equation of their children getting abortions without their permission. It's not why an abortion is needed. It's just making sure that the parents are involved to protect their children in any way leading to the need for one. And it's one of those things where the way it was worded is yes means no and no means yes, and this, that, and that's just wrong too. So we will see you tomorrow morning, barring any strange noise, because like I said, they're still working on the bathrooms here. And if there's a lot of noise, it will get picked up by microphones. And we just don't want to do that, but we'll do the best that we can. So tomorrow morning at 10 o'clock, look for us on Restream. Hopefully we will still be connected to Facebook. In the event that we are not connected to Facebook between now and the November 4th election, please look for us on the Boogie with the Bull YouTube channel at the same time, 10 a.m. Monday and Wednesday. Friday mornings, Bill Muckler joins us for Red Friday Morning Caffeine. We look at Red Friday and we share Bill's commentary on a whole lot of things for about an hour. There might be a rare Saturday morning Boogie with the Bull broadcast somewhere between 10 a.m. and 12 noon. It may start because the studio is available and we may have an option to do that. So if you're around, please come into the live chat on my profile or the Boogie with the Bull YouTube channel and be a part of the broadcast. If you want to be a part of the broadcast, please let me know by like 9 o'clock in the morning on Saturday, and we'll get you factored in. We can have 9 people plus me on a broadcast, so I'm very willing to do that. Anyway, I got to go and unlock the door, put the chihuahua to bed, go tell my wife it's time to go to bed because she has to work tomorrow morning and I don't. So thank you for watching Double Boots for Victory. This Boogie with the Bull broadcast is coming to an end. We will slide up here one more time. Double Boots for Victory. This Boogie with the Bull broadcast